Hi, good evening. It is about 6:45 in the evening on November 30th, 2023, and I'm currently coming to you from Daytona, Florida, where I'm presently working a unique triathlon series called Clash. Takes place on the racetracks of NASCAR here in Daytona, obviously. We're at the Daytona International Speedway, and the triathlon takes place in a lake, man-made lake that's on the property. The cycling takes place for one of the races actually on the race course on where the NASCAR, the Daytona 500 is raced. The bigger race with the 56-mile bike ride leaves the property, but then the run takes place entirely on the speedway. So it's a pretty cool little event, and it, for the past couple of years, has taken place, or at least one of my work days has fallen on November 30th. This year, I'd be remiss if I didn't take a moment to honor my 11-year anniversary of the launching of my company, which happens to fall on November 30th. I don't usually take a moment out of work weeks to do anything like doing a recording in the middle of a work week, only because I don't know, it tends to be a different sort of energy when I capture a recording than when I'm in the midst of an event. This one has been a little different. First and foremost, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it is a blessing from heaven when I get my own room. I'm somebody that very much enjoys and needs a lot of alone time. I like being with my own energy. I love being with my own thoughts. I like being able to talk aloud to myself and work without having to negotiate or navigate other people's energy. I've been single for a vast majority of this life. I'm pretty good at being alone. I also am pretty good at getting along with people. But if you gave me a choice, when I traveled, when I worked events, I would actually, I don't know anybody that would actually choose to have a roommate. At least the women I know, we tend to really enjoy the rare chances when we get to room alone. It is such a game changer, and it's just unbelievable. It's like I can handle anything going on in a race week if I have the ability to come back and have just my own space. And it's consequently really affecting my energy and my attitude, and just it's all around making everything fantastic this week. So I thought, since we got cut um relatively early today, and also because we're ahead of schedule, we get to go in a little bit later tomorrow. We'll have very long days Saturday and Sunday, so it's awesome. It's awesome to take a moment to, one, just be grateful for the unique work world that I have. Two, being grateful for the fact that I really, really do have a special it I just there are a lot of people at this race that I have been working with for a lot of years. And I don't know, it's hitting me. It's hitting me strangely in this way, where I think it's hitting me this way because I very much feel a transition taking place. A transition I've been waiting for a lot of years, but I really think 2024 is going to bring an unprecedented balance between my world of work, my writing, my art, my vision, what I refer to as the work of my soul, versus these events. And listen, I love team efforts. I love being part of a team. Um, do I love necessarily, running and triathlon? Do I love those events? I don't think I can say that I love the events per se. I love being part of a team, but the nature of the events doesn't really move my soul. there was a time in my life where I was very much into running, and I very much enjoyed doing the training for triathlons, despite the fact that I only did like 7 official triathlons in my life, meaning where I raced and I paid for them and raced. There was a time where those were very high priorities for me, and I very much enjoyed them. But in recent years, it's more often than not, it's for pay, and I struggle with that part because I don't like doing something just for pay. I like being able to focus in work situations where my soul is being fed and the pay is a far distant secondary thing. And I just, I really haven't been able to create that quite yet for myself. Doing work that feeds my soul and also is able to support me. So I've had to juggle this for a lot longer than I ever would have imagined when I launched things officially exactly 11 years ago today. This was not the path that I imagined. In fact, I naively believed I was going to be living my dream 1 year into the launching of my vision. And boy, I couldn't have been more off base with that naive prediction. Do I have regrets? I really don't. Has it been leaps and bounds more challenging and more unexpected obstacles than I could have imagined? Absolutely. But I really wouldn't change the journey for anything. But there is a shift that is happening. It started at the end of August. It's only been accelerating as the year comes quickly to an end. And just feeling things, I think a very big transition and rebalancing of things lies just ahead. And as such, I don't want to miss out on appreciating what I have in the moment. And especially right now, in this moment, like I said, this has been a really great work trip so far. I've worked out in the hotel gym the first few mornings of being here, which is like, I never can make that happen. And that just starts my day so much better. I've actually been sleeping, which doesn't usually happen on the road. I've got my own space. I have time to do my own work. We're ahead in our event. The team and the energy feels fantastic. Like it just, I don't know. I just felt like I had to turn the recorder on and capture this, acknowledge my gratitude for being in this industry because it is a unique industry and it is relatively small despite how big it's gotten. Now there are races all over the place, all over the globe, all the time. But when I first started in this industry in 2004, almost 20 years ago now, I always tell people I'm on the inner periphery. I've never made it my full-time job. I've turned down full-time jobs many times for many years in this industry, but I know all the full-timers. I'm on the inner circle, but I'm just on the periphery of the inner circle. So I've, in a very different way than most people, you know, this is sort of has ended up being kind of a career. I don't really like that word. I try to refrain from using it, but I have been in an industry, the same industry for 20 years. I just haven't been doing it in a traditional way. Now, that has come with pros and cons. The biggest reason I've chosen to do it this way is because I absolutely needed freedom and flexibility to make my dream and my hopes and aspirations. That needed to be my number one focus, not working for somebody else. And the kind of worker that I'm at, I gravitate to leadership and I would have been in leadership or management roles, and I couldn't take that on and be a leader in my own company and trying to get my own vision off the ground. So I had to sort of do it this way, from my perspective. And I really wouldn't have changed it for anything. But it is shifting, and it's a shift I've been waiting for and ready for. I'm excited for. And I don't know exactly what that means, other than Hopefully, I won't have to continue to work 35 to 40 events a year, which to this year will have been over 35 events. In one calendar year, I've never worked that many events in one calendar year. So it's been an intense year, but I've had brand new opportunities. I race directed my first event on Thanksgiving just last week, which was no one had given me that opportunity until a girlfriend of mine who works for a company that had their own race. So she needed somebody to run their other second race. And having only known me a year and a half, she gave me an opportunity to lead an event. And as minor as it was huge. So it has been a very big year. I launched my artwork on Etsy. I launched my first book on Amazon. I've had new roles and positions in the event world that I had never been given an opportunity to do or play those roles. And things are shifting, things are moving. And like I said, I'm ready, I'm excited, I'm grateful. And on 11-year anniversary day here, I just have to take a moment to be present with what the journey has been since taking my six-figure leap of faith and starting my company of me, Alyson Irene Noune, LLC. It's all about the energy. And man, it couldn't be more true. I feel like I'm living that this week. The energy, everything is energy. We are energy. It really does come down to the energy. And if there's one thing I have a gift of, and it's having a lot of energy, it's being able to read energy, it's being able to play with energy, it's being able to be creative with energy. And I don't know, I just feel like all the pieces are mixing together, and they've been dumped out on the table, and there's a new puzzle, there's a new picture being assembled. And I follow a 13 moon calendar, and that year begins in July. But the Gregorian year is still one that we all have to sort of acknowledge. And in my event world, it still runs more on the seasons of the Gregorian year. So the end of 2023 still matters. And the beginning of 2024, there's very real energy surrounding the ending of one year and the beginning of a new calendar year. And I can feel that. Here we're about to start the last month of the year. I'm about to turn 48 in a week. And so their energies are just shifting and moving. And I feel excited and ready and grateful. And so I just wanted to express that. So happy anniversary to my company of me, an anniversary that only I can celebrate, that I always celebrate with just myself. And this year, I guess I'm sharing it a little bit with you with the video and the 3 people that will watch. So thanks for watching. Happy holidays, and we'll talk again soon.